Let's go ahead and get it started, everybody.
Let's go.
Come in smooth. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of the Made in Dreams podcast. I am your host, Mighty Vicious, along with my hetero life mate, co-host, Jammy James, the Killer.
Jammy James,
And,
the Killer.
And our special guest today, for those that know him more than probably you know us, is Mr. Wooshie, a.k.a. the Ultra Instinct Wukong. So, how's it going, Wooshie?
Woo! It's going pretty good. I mean, you added some extra stuff in there, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, you got to. You got to, lay out the red carpet for our guest. I mean,
Ooh.
like I said, you're the big hitter here.
Oh yeah, we're just the small fry compared to Wooshie.
Yes. So now that we've both gotten down on our knees for him, let's go ahead and get started. So I think the first thing I want to ask, as everybody knows who was here last time, I am not that integrated into the Dreams community, which is one of the reasons I wanted to do this, because of how much I appreciate the game and what it's brought, especially how fun the community is. Whoosh, how did you get started?
Ooh, so that's an interesting thing because, I have to go way back, back to Little Big Planet. If you guys don't know what it is, Media Molecule.
So you're an OG.
Stuff. Yeah, I've been around for a while, and I was a little kid at the time of Little Big Planet, but that was something that was mind-blowing to me because all these ideas I had, I could then make in a game. That's amazing to, because again, as a kid that loves playing games, being able to make your own games is awesome because we all have ideas, right? We play our games and we're like, ooh, but what if they did this? So getting a chance to do that was just awesome. And that I went through all of them. It's changed to Sumo Digital, wasn't as good. That's a whole different thing. We don't talk about that. But basically, when I found out later on, I'm like, well, what happened to Media Molecule? They didn't do Little Big Planet 3, so where have they been? And I found out that they were working on something called Dreams. And the instant that I found out about it, I was just hooked. And my life became consumed. I have a journal just sitting right over there where you can't see I'm pointing to, just filled with the ideas that I had when I found out about Dreams. That I still haven't gotten to, for the record, but they're there. And and that pretty much got me into Dreams. Just that. Loyalty.
Are you trained in it otherwise? Just off of the top, when I subscribed to your YouTube channel, I noticed that you seem to have a very firm grasp on logic, whereas me trying to do logic is, it's horrible. So you seem to have a handle on it. And is it just because of how familiar you've become with Dreams, or did you start off in something close to it as a profession, maybe?
Well, it's probably because I'm a really good actor and editor that you think that. But the truth is, I did a little bit of robotics in high school. Math was a good subject for me, so I did well in that. And then I come from an animation background, so doing flash animations in school and doing some light, I forget the word, just some light work on that kind of stuff. That kind of carried over into Dreams a little bit. So I have that understanding of okay, I know how to draw stuff, I know how to animate, I know how to how computers kind of work. So it kind of played into the stuff I currently do in terms of Dreams.
But I suppose not only that though. Did you do a lot of level editing in Little Big Planet back in the day?
A little bit, not honestly, not too much, because again, little kid, so I wasn't really that good. I think Little Big Planet, I think, is more just what actually, you know what? No, that's a lie. There's part of that okay, the level design I never got into because I'm just bad at that. That's honest. But the logic from Little Big Planet is very similar to the one in Dreams.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
It's 1-to-1, some of it. So if you know Little Big Planet logic, you know Dreams logic. So that was my advantage a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
See,
I think that's the advantage of a lot of people that migrated over to Dreams from Little Big Planet. And I think that was a great move on Media Molecule's part for the community that they already had with Little Big Planet, is to sort of mirror the logic that was in the level editing progress of Little Big Planet and move that into Dreams.
Absolutely.
It's just easier for people to understand the mechanics of Dreams and be able to get things going a lot quicker. So So yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I loved Little Big Planet, but it was mostly me just running around trying to get time to play. Like it was a really busy time in my life, so I was like super pumped about it. Bought it like day one, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get to play this." And then life was like, "You don't get to touch your games for 2 years," and I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's cool." And yeah, so I mean, that's cool that a lot of people got to really get familiar, I guess, with Media Molecules. How would you say? Just the way they do things before Dreams came out. That's awesome.
We're loyal.
Yeah, yeah. Because I had the same reaction when they announced Dreams, which I went over last episode, where the moment I saw it, I was like, "That's for me. That game is exactly what I've been asking for," and it hasn't disappointed. And so yeah. Yeah. Is there, James, you said that you had a few questions for him that you wanted to throw out. Is there anything you wanted to get to right now?
Yeah, sure. So after doing some research on you, I mean, I knew you from Dreams anyway, but with any guest that we have on the show, we obviously do our research prior. I noticed that your YouTube channel is predominantly tutorials, and I wanted to touch on, what inspired you to start tutorials on YouTube for Dreams?
So yeah, I think with that it was because I felt at the time whenever I did the original tutorials, I forget what they were. That was years ago. I only made like a few videos, but what I saw in Dreams was that there were certain things that other people weren't doing that I was doing that I figured like, okay, I'm doing these tricks and no one else is doing them. I should find a way to teach people these tricks I'm doing so that we can all get better. Because my approach to many things, especially creative, is to try to share knowledge whenever possible because you want everyone to be at their best, right? Like if I'm holding in my knowledge, it's like holding people back and it comes
Yeah.
back around. So I teach somebody something, they improve on it, and now I've learned something from them. So it's like a circle. So that was kind of for me why I wanted to do it, because again, there were certain things that people told me, well, how did you do this? Why did you do it this way? To where I'm like, well, like let me show you. here's a video for you. And yeah.
So what's, being that we've kind of gushed over Dreams and everything, what's something that you would like to see added to the game? Like, what do you think will make it a better experience for everyone?
I mean, I'm still waiting on multiplayer. Like, I mean, where's it
Well,
at?
that is a thing that's coming though.
Yeah. I mean, apart from what's already been confirmed, I mean, honestly, I don't know, because it's like weird in that like it kind of has a lot to it already. And when we talk about the PS5 later on, like I'm sure they're not going to change much. I just feel like it's going to be more of like a boost of like bigger thermo, something as simple as that. I don't think we're getting new tools because we can already do so much as it is. So like it's hard to say what they could improve.
Well, on that topic, being that you brought it up, and you know what? Let's continue on this. It's just, no. I gotta ask, how do you feel like if they were to charge again for the PS5?
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. That's a tricky one.
All right. You're starting me now.
Should I? I mean, should I start it off just to get a feeling out there? Okay. Okay. See, the way, if it was just about any other developer, I would call BS. I still wouldn't like them to do it, but it's one of those things where it's a game that is going to exist and grow throughout the next generation.
Yeah.
And its possibilities are going to grow. And so I personally would be like, I wouldn't want them to charge again, but if they decided to, I would throw like a man and then I'd pay. Like,
you see, I disagree completely.
Okay.
I don't think they should, and more importantly, I don't think they would. Media Molecule to me are such a different type of game development studio. I don't think they would do that to their fans, simply because for me, Media Molecule is so much more interacted with their fan base than any other studio I've ever seen. I mean, the fan base is everything, because without them, Dreams wouldn't be what it is. unless people are creating stuff and making assets and putting stuff out there, then Dreams would just be empty. And I don't think they can afford to lose faith in their fans by putting up another £50 paywall to just get the PS5 version.
See, I don't think it would be that. Like, I think the games that have already stated that they might charge something, the only prices I've seen floated out are like $15 to $20 for the upgrade. So, like, if it was a whole other $50, $60, oh hell yeah, then I'd probably have something in my tone. But
That's fair.
But if
Unless
it's like $15,
upgrade, you can't call it an upgrade though. I mean, if they're saying, well, it's $15 to upgrade to the PS5 version, I expect to be a significant difference to justify that $15 for the upgrade.
Well, MC Alchemist said that he thinks they already said that they won't do that, and I had heard the same thing. That, you know, they weren't planning on doing it. But I also heard something different from something on YouTube, like I think like 2 nights ago. And I was like, really? I don't think that's right. And so I just wanted to check because I really want to know if people, like, if it offers enough. Because we've had that conversation of like, with the new gen coming out and certain games talking about changing their prices to $70, like, you know, would you be willing to pay? And for me, if it's something like, you know, Cyberpunk 2077, something that I know I'm going to put like 80 hours at least into, then it's worth it. But, you know, I consider Dreams at the same level as that. It's ultimately going to be giving you so much that I kind of have a problem having a problem with them asking more money. So that's my stance.
I mean, my main issue with it is not only charging for it again, but the separation that it's going to cause for the community. Because if they do add more thermo into the PS5 version, which is ultimately what they should be doing, because, you know, the PS5 can handle so much more, but then that's going to cause an issue for PS4 players. Those games are going to be released onto the Dreamiverse, and they're ultimately going to become unplayable unless you have a PS5. So therefore, you have to split the community in half.
Isn't that what happened with Little Big Planet 3?
Sorry?
Like, wasn't there like version differences between the PS4 and PS3 for Little Big Planet 3?
I can't remember.
Like, I want to say like there's certain levels that were made at Little Big Planet 3 on PS4 that were not playable on the PS3 version.
And that's my biggest concern is, you know, are they going to show, because the Dreamiverse is one thing, are they going to create 2 separate Dreamiverses, one for the PS5 and one for the PS4? Alone.
Because, I mean, okay, the PS5 has to have some kind of difference, right?
It's got to, yeah, it has to.
So, like, I think considering that, like, well, for one thing, PS5 is more powerful. So I feel like by default, that kind of makes it so that, like, anything made on the PS5 won't work on the PS4 because it's using more power that's not available.
Exactly.
So,
but that's if they upgrade the thermo. If they keep the thermo.
Oh no! I think we might have lost him for a second.
James, where'd you go?
Oh no! He might have to come back. Yeah, he might have to come back to us.
Come back to us.
So anyway, I'll just until he kicks back in. Well, so what was your thoughts? Like,
yeah. Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I was gonna just quickly add because like I feel like I could see them doing what you said and having like a little extra charge. That makes sense to upgrade. And it's weird. I feel like it's okay, like because people support MM so much that they would cough up the money, right?
Yeah.
So like they probably might. And again, I think just having a better thermo is such a big difference that I think it kind of is worth the upgrade. I
mean, for me personally, it'll be worth it if they can just. I don't like that you can that when you output it, like unless you're capturing it while you're playing it through your computer. Like I don't like that they output to like YouTube or Twitter in like 720.
Yeah, I think, and that's a PS4 thing, I believe, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
So like, yeah, so it's very limited.
Even if they make it so that you can just upload it then to like 1080, I'll be happy. I'll pay
Yeah.
$15 for that. Just if they, I mean, of course, everybody would want 4K. I'm not saying to undershoot it, but yeah, if they could just do that, that would be enough for me. Now,
Am I
James,
back?
great to have you
Am
back.
I back? What
Yes, you are
happened?
back.
Back from the beyond.
I don't know. We were talking, or you were talking, and all of a sudden you just like froze. I thought the
Oh.
Matrix had gotten you, man.
Oh,
We
I
were
was
worried.
unlucky. I wish the Matrix got me.
He's beginning to believe. So,
So did you
go ahead.
did you catch my whole speech on the firmware with PS4 and PS5? Did that come through?
We got some of it, but I mean, you definitely froze while you were in the middle of speaking, so I don't think we got all of it.
Oh, okay. So my basic point was if they keep the firmware the same, then the community won't be split. But the PS5 will still be able to push out higher frame rates of those games, even though the firmware hasn't changed, because it ultimately has better power. So that's also another solution that they could do. Don't change anything, but you still get better performance out of the PS5 version.
Yeah. I mean, it just seems crazy that they wouldn't increase the thermo. Like, that's like the biggest thing because that's what's limiting a lot of us in Dream.
Yeah, I can
Thermo.
imagine that they're having a massive debate in their Guildford office about it.
Hyper Dream Surfer says PS4 Pro has 1080 output. He thinks. I don't know if that's true. I have no reason to doubt that that's the case. As being that it costs more, it better do something. But as we talked about last episode, I'm not sure if you were here, Hyper Dream Surfer. I think you were, but basically, I'm at this point where my PlayStation is kind of on its last legs and I'm waiting for the PS5, and I would just buy a PS4 Pro now, but they're still, like, because of the pandemic, they're charging like absorbent amount, like more than it would naturally cost. I'm like, well, if I'm going to spend $450 on something, I might as well wait for the PlayStation 5. And I believe it was, speak of the devil, I think it was Payoff Wizard that told me that I needed to stop living in the past. that I needed to live in the moment and just buy. I think it was you, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Wooshie, did you have any more thoughts on that? Like what you would pay more? You said you would pay for an upgrade?
Yeah, not like, like you said, not full price, but a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to give me that little bit extra thermo, I need it. Give me it. Give it to me.
Yeah, just cut it up for daddy. Cut it up. Anyway, so cut it up for dad. Let me snort it. All right. Anyway, so
Don't judge me for what I do in my free time.
There is no judgment. There is no judgment here. I don't care if you're laying up in the corner and you got fragrances and nipple oils, my friend. Do what you do on your time. On your
I won't go
time.
that far, but there's a reason I can't do face cam, We'll just say that.
What are you hanging from the ceiling like the Cell King? What is going like rings in your back? He's like, follow me. Like, I don't. Oh, which brings me to my next point. Excuse me.
How have you segued into that?
Because I did some crazy voice, and when I was watching Wooshie the other day, when I was watching Wooshie the other day, I saw him go into Elmo voices and Patrick from SpongeBob, which don't get me started on SpongeBob.
Why have I not seen this?
I think, and I just want to know, is that something you're also? I thought I must have taken it off because I didn't want people to think I was crazy. Thank you for the subscribe, by the way, part-time. I appreciate you. But yeah, is that something, another interest of yours to do like voice acting?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. It's a weird thing to talk about in the sense of like, because there's no way to like say like I think I'd be good at it without sounding cocky as hell, Like it's more just like it looks like a lot of fun, and I feel there's like something more interesting in that compared to regular acting, which I think every voice actor would tell you that. Where you don't have a face, you don't have an image, it's just your voice. So you could be literally anybody. And there's something really interesting about that concept to me. And yet here I am doing stupid voices, so I don't know.
Hey. As a person who also does that, I also would love to do it professionally. and I don't see anything wrong with it at all. So I hope you get your breakthrough on it, because your range as far as doing voices like Elmo, that's way beyond my deep voice. Like I can't do that.
Do I do
So
it? Do I do it? Get a
if
little
you
bit of
want
Elmo
to
on there?
if you want to do Elmo, you got 10 seconds. Throw it out.
All right. All right, I'll just do a quick little line.
Okay.
Oh
like,
wow,
Yeah.
that's actually pretty impressive.
Try not to spike
Right?
the audio.
Yes, very impressive. I love it.
Thank you. I have the voice of a little child. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well,
And whilst we're talking about cute animal voices, I'd like to ask, what was the inspiration for your monkey mascot that you have?
So Milo the monkey, as you can see right there, as my beautiful face there, that's it's something that is very near and dear to my heart, simply because this is something. Okay. So I go back a lot of times, so forgive me.
No,
Most
that's
stories
fine.
I have to go years back into my life to be like, oh well, technically it starts here. So I would say I was, I don't know, elementary, middle school, which for people that don't know, it's like around 12ish, more or less. And I was the student that would be just doodling instead of doing my homework. I know it's bad, I know, but I couldn't help it. I just liked drawing, and I liked doing this stuff. So a character that I came up with was Milo the monkey. It was just this cute little monkey, and I would make like little tiny comics of him doing random shenanigans, and that carried over to when I did animation, like did classes for that. I made animations out of him, and when it came time to dreams, I don't know, something clicked in my head where it's like I wasn't sure what to make, but I had that thought of like I could make this thing that I've carried with me since my childhood. I could make a character that I created real. And there was something enticing about that. Like being able to see my creation in 3D. It's a weird thing. Like I don't have kids, so as far as I know. So that was like the closest I got to that, where it's like I'm seeing something that I made almost like for real, and it's like and yeah, it's just basically it's my mascot because it's like a dumb drawing I made as a kid that I've carried with me for years now.
all right. Well, I have a secondary idea, and I would like to steal your monkey. No, I'm just playing. I don't want to. I don't want to steal your monkey, but I do want to talk to you about a possible other project. Having heard that, because your story is very similar to mine, as far as that goes, for a lot of the stuff that I'm working on. But
Mine's.
definitely. I mean, I'm not trying to. I know you had said that you had felt like you'd left YouTube for a little bit. You felt like you had gotten a little burned out. Did you want to go into that at all?
Yeah, I can touch on that. So basically, I spent because early access, no, beta, that was I think 2018, like end of 2018, December-ish, right? And I was in the beta at some point around there, and from that point on, like until basically early this year, before my hiatus, I spent that almost over a year in Dreams just helping other people. And it gets to you after a while, especially because a lot of these people that I helped, they ended up just kind of giving up on their projects. So I spent hours and hours making something for them that they just ended up not using and being like, well, I don't, And again, after a year, it took a toll on me. So it got to a point where I need a break. And I know at the time I got sick for a little bit. Nothing serious. Obviously, I'm still here and fine. But it kind of made me think of like where I stood on this stuff. Because I realized in that moment, I am miserable in what I am trying to do for fun. I'm supposed to go into have fun, but I wasn't. And I just had to take a break and just disappear because I needed to clear my head. And so, I help people less now, not for mean purposes. It's just I need to do stuff for myself for once.
Yeah. This is definitely important, and I can understand that completely. And it says Dorian says that he's been there, so definitely you don't sound like mean or an asshole or anything to us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, James, did you have your next question lined up for Woosh?
Well,
if not, I can go in.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay. So let me ask you. Let's get back to what you would like to see in dreams, because I kind of turned that on an angle. Like all of a sudden, that took us out
Oh,
of that
good. We're
conversation.
good. Yeah, that's where I was going to go anyway, but I wasn't sure if we was going to swing back to it. So good.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, the one thing that I want that apparently we had, but then we lost, and I remember hearing about it, but it was before I was pretty much, really going full swing into dreams, was the uploading of sound files.
Yes.
You took mine. You took mine.
Well, then
I mean,
you take it from here, bro. You take it from
Okay.
here. It's all you.
Right. Here's what really annoys me. So I create a lot of music in dreams, specifically for a project that we're working on with Lucid Nebula Studios, which we won't really touch into. But I'm doing a lot of music in dreams at the moment, and I've used, digital audio workfaces before, like Logic Pro X and Ableton Live, and so I have some experience with making music out of dreams. And I thought, well, they have a full audio suite in dreams, so it can't be that difficult to, get grips with things. And I had all these amazing assets that I've created outside of dreams. So I was like, oh, I'll just import that in and add it to my sound. And now in the beta, or should I say early access, there was a 3-minute time limit to uploading audio, which was fantastic. And there was even a way of like plugging into the audio jack of your PS4 controller into your computer to feed the audio through in high quality. So there was all these amazing features with the audio side, and then it got cut out. And now it's cut down to 15 seconds, and you can't really import anything anymore. And I understand why they've done it, because people was importing, copyrighted music and stuff, and they was getting all these lawsuits and coming through. And I understand why they've done it, but for a creative tool to block out the creative side of importing stuff into their software really bugs me. It really, really bugs me. And I wish they would find a workaround for it.
I mean, the workaround is just if you get caught with using some unlicensed stuff, your whole project gets deleted. That's
I agree.
I mean that's what I would want, because I'm gonna tell you right now, like, as everyone knows, last time a couple of you said that it was because of a roach in my PlayStation 4. I'm gonna take it. So, like, because of that issue I had that made it so like I couldn't, like, I lost all of my work, which is why if you go to my name on Dreams or in the In Dreams profile, you'll only see one thing, because I ended up having to take little recordings that I had made when I was making my short film, and I ended up having to just cut it out of that and put it on YouTube because something happened and I could no longer upload to Dreams. And so I don't know, like, I would really, it kind of created this thing in me. Now I want to know what y'all think about this, because a lot of this is based around the community of Dreams, and therefore things have to kind of stay within Dreams to really get that love from the community, which is something I wish I could have done for my short film. But if someone were to make something in Dreams and then finish it outside of Dreams, do y'all take that as a betrayal? Like, if it can't be in the In Dreams portfolio, do you take it as like a betrayal of the process?
I'll let our guest go first.
Well, I was gonna say, I think it depends, because certain mediums, like, they're better enhanced with that bit of exporting. Like, if we're talking about, if you're making a short film, right, you're doing animations, all these kind of things. When you go from scene to scene in Dreams, it's not as perfect as you might want. There's like a slight delay depending on the complexity scene. So it's like little things like that you can edit outside of it just to better clean it up. And I think with stuff like that kind of media, it's almost designed to be exported. Actually, Media Molecule, they had a thing not too long ago where they were asking people, like, they were wanting to work with people to export their stuff out of Dreams in terms of animations, music, things like that. So in that sense, if the developers themselves are okay with it, I feel like the rest of us should be as well.
Okay. Okay. Because I really started thinking about it because someone tried to call me out last episode and they were like, bro, you only have one thing made in dreams. And that's when I had to tell the story. And so, but I was wondering if that actually is a feeling that the community, it would honestly be my first like negative encounter or negative instance in the community. But I understand it. So I kind of like, I wanted to ask after last episode if that was something that really people were like, yo, it's made in dreams. You keep it in dreams. You don't go walking
No.
out with the money. Like,
No, you
and so,
see,
I know.
I completely disagree. In the fact that what you create in dreams is your own intellectual property. How you decide to distribute it, release it, and show it is completely up to the creator. You have to consider that dreams is no different than any other media creation tool, no different than Unreal Engine, no different than an art engine, or any another DAW system like Logic Pro or Ableton. It's no different than any of those. Dreams, to me, it's not a game. It's a system software to create digital media with. So how you decide to do with your own stuff is completely up to you. And I get it, Dreams is different. It has a whole community where you can showcase all the stuff you've created within the software itself. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to.
Yeah, I mean, people use it for portfolios too.
yeah. I mean, I just wanted to know because, but I'm not sure if it was Dorian as a thing raising his hand, and I'm not sure. Did I misrepresent what you said? Because I could have swore that was what you said. But if you did not, then correct me, please. But that's what I came away with it, and that's what led into this great conversation that I'm having now. So, you let me know.
Not
But
only that though, but you have a lot more creative control outside of Dreams once you've got your stuff. Like, let's just say, like for you, for instance, that was creating an animation. You creating a show. You have a lot more creative control outside of Dreams of how you cut and edit and put that all together than what you do within Dreams. And I think, though, that will evolve in time as Dreams gets updated and they bring out new features. I think they're going to bring out a whole video suite for Dreams, like they do the audio side, where you can cut things together a lot more better and stuff like that. But at this present moment of time, there isn't anything like that. So
and I fell in love with it. I honestly did. I fell in love with like being that I could at least salvage what I could from that project and then still have the ability to do it like with something that I'm actually more adept at. Like I was like, well, maybe I should just do it this way every time because it's a lot easier than, learning everything about Dreams. But I do wish that I could have had at least the first part on Dreams. So anyway, I just wanted to know what people thought about that. And I want to be able to upload things, and I think that that's something they definitely need to fix. They need to make it so you can upload sound again. Because
and not only that, I mean, can you imagine how different things would be if they allowed people to upload references for when they're sculpting? I mean, imagine how that would change sculpting completely.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be spot on at that point. Like everyone's creations would just get so much better.
And Dorian says, as long as people are having fun in Dreams, who cares what they're doing? I like that.
Said it better myself.
Yeah, I second it.
Yeah, I think like what you're talking about, Will, is like I think that was like a minority thing of like there's not a lot of people that feel that way. The majority of people are very friendly and very cool with stuff. So it's like they just like it's like, yeah, do you whatever whatever you want to do in Dreams, go for it.
And I think that's what makes Dreams so great.
Yeah.
It's so inviting.
So, I mean, it's just something that was on my mind after last week's episode where I was just wondering, like, if I were to, like, once I get the PS5 and I have the updated version of Dreams and Media Molecule is like, hey, we heard what you said. And, we want to put back in where you can upload, sound files. And I'll be like, yeah, I'll marry you. And everything's cool. And like, if once they have that, I was just wondering, like, is it something where it's like, should I try to just keep everything I do inside of Dreams, which is for me going to take longer because first of all, I'm a grown ass man. I ain't got time. Okay, I don't have time. So like, I know a lot of people might be like, he's not old. I'm old. I'm older than I look. Y'all just don't know. So like, I don't really have time to learn everything, but I feel like the collaborations that I found myself in will help me with that. But I just wanted to know if it was, frowned upon. And oh yeah, I'm learning that actually. I'm actually learning that Woodson says that lots of dreamers are older than you'd guess. I am definitely learning that, and it makes me happy. I'm not. I'm not the only old man at the bar still. So, so thank you for the follow, Vorndoom. Hello, and yeah. So that's it. I just want them to bring back sound files because as a voice actor, I don't want to try to make dreams work for me in voice acting. Like that's something I definitely like. I care about it enough to where I like. I'd rather use the tool that I'm the best at to make this product. So they need to bring it back. And hopefully one day we'll have someone from Media Molecule on here so that we can really pressure them on it.
Yeah.
Be like, what about those sound uploads
just-
though?
We'll get Ed Hargrave on here. He's the musical director for Dream, so we'll just get him on.
I'm in the hot seat.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So whoosh.
Yeah.
You sent me over a folder of just sculpts that you've worked on. And I noticed that Arnold Zilla wasn't in it. For those that checked out his stream the other day, you got to see him do a scene of Godzilla or with Godzilla, and then he changed it into Arnold Zilla, and it was the most amazing thing ever. Go check his VODs.
I still love it.
I was surprised because I have a bunch of folders. I'm gonna switch up screens real quick so I can give you your shine. But if y'all notice how, okay. So we're looking at here. Y'all see it now. Y'all see what I was talking about. So we got Wooshie taking over and possessing Jammy James's body, and so we got Arnold, and this looks spot on.
Oh, thanks.
Like I really like it. This is like Terminator 1 Arnold. I like it.
That's amazing. For our audio listeners, I will post these on our socials later so that you can see them after.
You'll be able to see. But so I know we kind of went over this already, but with sculpting, like, yeah, you were in Little Big Planet, but did Little Big Planet really have sculpting like this?
Not at all.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, was this just bowing down and just like, I'm going to be good at this? Or is it just part of your natural ability?
I wish I could say it was natural because that sounds more impressive. But okay, so for me, because again, I come more from like character type stuff, and I did a lot of drawings, that kind of felt like a natural evolution where it's like, all right, I draw characters, so let me try and make characters. And, I taught myself sculpting, and some good advice that I try to give to as many people as possible is to, when you start trying art tools, right? In any kind of art, but especially in dreams, let's say you're trying to learn how to sculpt. I think instead of trying to sculpt something from memory and try to figure it out for yourself, I think it's best to use references and recreate before anything else. So for me, I feel like that's what made me more accustomed to the tools, like trying to replicate stuff. Because then I think that, like, the bigger way to explain it is, if you're replicating, there's a right and a wrong way to do it because it needs to look a certain way. But if you're doing it from your own imagination, there's like all this, I don't know, there's this leeway you can kind of put onto yourself where it's like, well, maybe this is a redesign I'm doing. But that's my whole thing. It's just a lot of recreation to try to get better.
Okay. Well, I've put up your picture of Fall Guys that you're working on, and you said I believe you said your friend did the background for it.
So actually, for Dream Surfer, who's here in the chat, he did the pulsing background with the rings. That was all him because I can't do that stuff. So he does the effects and stuff like that because that's over my head.
Dude, I've got to say, the quality of this image that I'm seeing right now, you wouldn't know the difference between the actual Fall Guys itself and the Dreams version. It's incredible.
That's kind of the goal. Because this is now like how I taught myself how to sculpt. I'm trying to teach myself with everything else, like level design stuff like that. So I'll take something like Fall Guys, which has a pretty simple level design, and if I could recreate that, then I have a better understanding for this type of thing.
I mean, as soon as I saw Fall Guys, it was inevitable. I thought, oh my god, there's going to be so many different Fall Guys recreations within Dreams simply because of its simplicity. But this is taking it to another level. I mean, the user interface that you've got there and the menu and everything, it's spot on.
Very much. I think people have different goals, not to, like say anything negative, but like I know some people are making it just because it's popular. My specific goal is I wanted to recreate it because I felt like I could do it. And I want to try to show people what Dreams is capable of. So if I can, that's the idea. I want people to be fooled and think this is Fall Guys, and then say, "Surprise! It's Dream."
Yeah, I love that.
So yeah, for those that don't know, if you're listening to this later, we're looking at an image that Jamie James said he's going to post on our socials, but we're looking at an image of a sculpt that Mr. Wooshie, as well as his friend Hyper Dream Surfer, basically made the lobby of Fall Guys, and it is just. It's brilliant. Like, it looks so flush. I love it. But we'll put that up on social if he doesn't mind. We'll put it up on social so that y'all can see these images that he's worked on. So now we're looking at this image of Jesus. I think we're looking at here.
No, that was just a random character. There's nothing really about that. That was
that was so random.
He seems like the first man.
The thing behind that was I think that there was like a day that all of a sudden I just had this overwhelming urge to try to sculpt better because I usually do cartoony stuff. So I'm like, okay, let me try my head at something more detailed, and that's what that resulted in. Not perfect, not great, but it was, again, good practice to try to get better with the tools. I'm constantly trying to improve as much as I can.
Well, thank you, Red Nebula Pictures, for coming in with the host. And yeah, so I do like it. I'm trying to think. It reminds me of someone, and I can't remember who.
I'm not sure.
It kind of it almost feels like a Xanatos from or the dude that voices him, the dude that played Riker on Star Trek. It gives me that feel. But
I can see that.
I'm getting Walking Dead vibes from it.
Yeah,
Walking Dead. So now we've moved on to a very strong-chinned Professor Xavier image.
I mean, again, that's where scope. Well, actually, funny enough, that's the head that is for the Batman. That's it unpainted and without the cowl and everything. That's the base.
So yeah, there we go. I just switched it back to Batman. So that is basically this, but from the beginning. Okay.
Yeah, it's like little progress stuff, Got to kind of show the behind the scenes of how it works.
Yeah, definitely.
So how long does it normally take to sculpt something like this? Because you're talking to two people here that can pretty much make a square work. So it'd be interesting to know, how long it takes to create something this detailed.
Like, I don't know, maybe, well, the sculpting usually takes like an hour itself. Mm-hmm. And I think then painting can sometimes take another hour just because I'm very meticulous and I try to I overdo it and I try to be very precise, but yeah, so about 2 hours, I guess you would say.
Wow.
Which people mock me a lot because then they try to quote me on speed sculpting and then they'll put 2 hour limit. It's like, all right, well,
dude, it would take me 2 hours to make half of the nose, let alone the full head.
See, the thing is I'm not actually that bad at sculpting, but it's I'm bad at if I want to do anything else with it. I can't focus on the first thing I think of when I see this is, okay, now how do I make that mouth move? I'm thinking ahead of where I am, and then I just kind of like get discouraged throughout the process of it. But yeah, was that the last image or was there? Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Couple.
We got
My boy.
This is This is awesome. Are you making a game with him?
Yeah, that's the goal. I haven't had a chance to really, tackle it as we already kind of talked about, but that's been like on my back burner for a long time now.
Are you secretly like way further ahead than you're letting on? But it's
Yeah,
like
that was
it's in the
going to be my
background.
question.
I'm a pretty honest guy, so I'll tell you that I got nothing. I'm still at the base level trying to decide on like what mechanics I actually want to use because I've gone through too many different ones.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I would like to say I think it would be awesome, and I can't wait. I would also like to see you maybe go smaller, and maybe go back and look at your old little comic strips and like illustrations, and just try to make little episodes.
That part's secret.
That's the secret part.
Do you know what would be quite funny? Have you guys ever played Ape Escape on the PS1? It would be great to switch the roles and have your monkey doing the catching of the humans. That would be so funny to see.
I think actually, we can make fun. I could do some fun with that as an animation even.
Yeah.
Hyper, you're in there. Let's think about that.
So, yeah. Any questions for Wooshie through the chat? I'll go ahead and put that out while we continue to talk. So if y'all have anything you want to ask.
I don't trust them.
You don't, yikes. Never mind, he doesn't trust you.
Those who know what I'm talking about. They know. It's just like a carryover from all the streams that I do. It's like it's very antagonistic between me and my chat. And some of them are here, and I'm already like anticipating the worst.
Oh no. So, well, I guess while we wait, he doesn't. Do you and MC Alchemist have a history? A history of non-trust.
I probably trust him more than most other people, to be honest.
Ah, good. Well, then let's go ahead and get into a heated discussion.
Oh, great.
Oh, here we go.
Well, before we started the podcast today, we started talking about a topic that I think everyone here probably has an opinion on. So I would like, as a matter of fact, I would like y'all to start it off. Like, James, do you want to start off this the conversation / debate about?
Let's get the subject out there. You set the scene, and then I will take it from there.
Okay. So basically, do you think that people should strive for monetization through dreams?
Okay. Yes.
Is it something that should be monetized, or does that destroy the spirit of the game?
No, absolutely. Monetization is, in my opinion, is the only way forward for dreams. Because once you've paid the initial price for dreams, that's it. And that's, I think, a great positive of dreams. And it drives a lot more people to come in, because it's not like, oh, we need $20 to open this assets, and you need $20 to open the next set of assets to create whatever you want. There's none of that. It's just you pay what you pay, and then you get the full game. But at the same time, dreams is a business no different than any other. And for a business to work, there has to be money. And especially where dreams has a 10-year plan, I can't see them not implementing any sort of monetization. Otherwise, this 10-year plan is not going to work. And I think a great way to monetize it would be to bring out sort of AAA style, good quality games within dreams that you could put up for a really low price to pay. That would be one great way of doing it. If Media Molecule brings out a fantastic 20-hour game within dreams for £5, I'd more than happy pay that to play it. And that's a great way of monetizing it. But I don't think it's a really difficult question, because there's so many different aspects that you could look at it. But I think the way that it needs to go forward is with premium content coming at a price to help fund and continue dreams to continue into the future.
Okay. And Wooshie?
I mean, I honestly agree like entirely with you, James. And did I mention that I love this podcast? But
No.
like I
Thank you.
every word of
Yeah.
that, I'm in the same boat where I can't imagine them not monetizing at some point down the road of 10 years. Like it'd be ridiculous. But I see them as doing it as like like almost like an exclusive, they recruit maybe certain creators to do something. What I disagree with not with what you said, but with what people sometimes talk about is the little monetization where it's like, well, yeah, I'll make this character for you, but I want some cash first. That I 100% disagree with. And I think that is against the spirit of Dreams entirely. We're supposed to work together, and that just butchers that idea where we're paying people for assets. That's a whole different thing.
Yeah. But the aspect of having premium games out there, like say like Artstream, for instance, that's like that's what I would call a premium creation.
Yeah.
If they was to get like say Mad GFX, for instance, to create a game for them and say we want you to create this game for us and we'll release it onto Dreams for a price, then I'd be happy to pay that because you've seen the quality that these creators can come with, and it will also help to separate sort of I don't want to say crap, but the crap that's in Dreams.
Are you back to talking about the anime stuff, the manga stuff? Is that what you're hinting at without trying to go too in?
No. When I'm dream surfing, so many fucking memes come up, and it's so annoying. And it's just that shit does not belong here. I don't think. That's not what Dreams is for. Nobody really wants to look at that shit. I want to look at the creations that people have spent hours and hours putting their work into just to get a like. That's the stuff I want to see, not someone creating this weird Shrek Mario figure walking down a road with some meme music. I'm not here for that. And I think if they start to monetize stuff and bring in these good quality creators, not only will it encourage them to continue to create in the amazing stuff that they do, but it will also give the community a massive load of amazing games to play, whilst also contributing to the business side of Dreams.
Yeah.
Let's go down these comments real quick because I would like to know more from the people who've commented on the topic. But Dorian said, I hate the idea of monetization, to be honest. And Shovel and Sandbox said they could leave the assets unpriced, free, and the rest of the game software, but charge for hosting, exporting services, target folks looking to distribute, share, yada, yada.
Yeah, that could work. I mean, just think if they released like 3D printing, for instance, the ability to export your file into a 3D file to print on your 3D printer. I'd happily pay a price as long as it was reasonable to export my sculpt into a 3D format that you can print on a 3D printer.
Amazing. Like a little subscription-based thing or something, right?
Yeah,
not for each one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think the whole. Wait, here we go. So Dorian says the only way I could see it working is if it's like select games go on the PSN store on a Dreams indie section, but has to stay on Dreams.
Okay, now you're starting to get into my territory. So I really do believe that the exportation of games within Dreams are going to become a thing. Now I might ramble for a little while, but it makes a fantastic point. So let's just imagine, okay, that the PS5 comes with the Bubble Bath engine installed into its software. For those that don't know, the Bubble Bath engine is basically Dreams operating system. If they were to do that, and then they offered the ability to export your games from Dreams, providing that they met a threshold of quality from Media Molecule, you would then have the opportunity to upload that onto the PlayStation Store. And the game would play because the Bubble Bath engine is pre-installed on the PS5. Now, if they did this, and I really do believe that this is something that they're doing, otherwise I don't understand why they would have a 10-year plan for a game. If they did this, and all the amazing creators that we all know and have seen within Dreams pull out these fantastic games. PlayStation has essentially acquired hundreds of indie studios for free through a game that is exclusive to their console. Like from a marketing perspective, you can't get any better than that. It's a
Yeah, you really
fantastic
can't.
it's a fantastic way to acquire talent without paying for talent, because you know the guys would earn a percentage from the sales of the game if they went onto the store and if it was even put up for money. But still, Sony would have the ability to boast that, hey, we have a software for our PlayStation players where they can create their own games and upload them onto our store. It's just fantastic from a marketing perspective, and that's where I think Dreams is going. I think
Hmm.
that's what they're going to do with it, and that's why Sony has given them a 10-year plan,
Could definitely see
because
that.
Yeah,
it's just such a great idea.
I agree. I agree. That's yeah. I'm sorry. I'm kind of distracted for the moment just because I I didn't show one of his sculpts, and I kind of really want to go back and show it, and then we can get right back into this topic. Is that okay? Is that okay
Yeah,
with
carry on.
everyone? Okay. So we have this sailor guy, and he's awesome. Like this
Thank
looks
you.
awesome. I really like it.
Thank you.
It's
It
like
is really
yeah,
cool.
it almost feels like a Nintendo style.
Yes.
One
Like
might say
almost like
that.
it would, yes, one might. but but it still has better graphics than Nintendo. So I
I
mean,
wouldn't go that far.
I'm
Oh,
just
come on.
I'm just trying to incite riots. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm just
Look,
egging.
man.
I'm just joshing you.
Oh, I know. I know where this is
But
going.
yeah, I
It's extremely
really,
polished. It's really good.
yeah, it really is good. And did you add more pictures to this folder?
No, those are all the pictures that were there when I sent them.
Are you sure? Because I swear I
Yes.
went through them last night and I didn't. It didn't go this long.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
There's what 10 pictures in total. Those were all there from the beginning.
Huh. All right. All right. So, let's get back to the conversation at hand. But there were just things that I hadn't gone through yet, and like the little luchador and the wrestling ring, which is hilarious. And yeah, I just really wanted to take the time for people who are here to actually see what uh, what he supplied for us to look at. And Wizard Warfare, that's something you're gonna have to give me some background on.
Yeah.
Now or later.
We could probably do it after, right? We finished a little discussion here
Okay.
about
All right.
monetization.
Okay, so continue. Sorry, I noticed that we hadn't gone through all of it, and I didn't want to shortchange those that are here visually to see more of your work. So,
Oh, thank
anyway, let's continue.
But yeah, that's where I see it going, and I don't know. I can't really see it going any other way. I mean, why would why would Sony back this game for such a strengthening length of time and say, okay, you've got 10 years for this game and all these fantastic creations to come out of it for it not to go anywhere else? And, Media Molecules already teased the idea of exporting games. Back when the early access was out, they said it's something that they're looking into.
you.
And
Yeah.
with them being a first party studio, they're owned by Sony, they already have the gateway into that market. So why would they not do it is my question. It's not a matter of would they do it, it's why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's exactly that. I mean, I see it as a way too, like to support your favorite creators in a fair way, and in a way that everyone benefits. So like, I think that some stuff will still, that stuff will still be in Dreams, but it's like separately. You can get this as it's a standalone thing on like the PSN store or something like that, and
Yeah.
it helps support PlayStation, and the creator itself. And I think that's, I don't know. I think when you look at it as more of a support thing, I think it's not as intense.
Yeah. But I mean, I see people support creators all the time. I mean, people with Patreons and stuff, people pay a lot more just to support a creator or a YouTuber and things. From a marketing aspect, we know people are willing to separate with their money for people they follow online. And for a gaming industry to not take advantage of that from Dream's perspective, is just ridiculous. Because I know for an absolute certainty, if Mad GFX come out with a brilliant game, if Martin Nebelong ever decides to create a game other than just artwork, I would pay whatever they want if that came on the PSN store. I don't care what it is. I just want to pay it, because with Dreams, people follow creators, and everybody knows everyone. It's like, you mention these names and people are like, oh yeah, I've seen his stuff. I know who he is. He's made this. He's made that. He's made this. It's a very closed off community where everybody knows everybody. So if Sony were to create like a trailer, the blah 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 game by Martin Nebelong now on the PSN store, all the dreamers are going to rush to it. And
Absolutely.
why wouldn't they? And
Okay.
we've already seen Sony actually create trailers for games within Dreams on the PlayStation Store. I've seen at least 2 or 3 of those, and people are like commenting. So Sony's actually, advertising games within the game now. I'm like, yeah, well, why wouldn't they? It's their product, and they're proud of the creations that people are creating out of it. And I think they're just putting in the stepping stones for the much bigger idea that they've got. And I reckon it won't take long, a couple of years, and Dreams will be completely different than what it used to be now.
Ooh. So first Dorian came in and said too many people that are good enough to make games that people pay for won't make content for regular Dreams. Then all that's left is the stuff people are saying they don't want to see. And Woodsense said, I agree that media molecule, have to be very careful about how they proceed, because every decision will affect the community dynamics.
Yeah.
And Dorian came back with something that I think is actually very intriguing. He said, I'd rather see a donation thing added to Dreams. Like you can tip people or pay what you can to support individual people, instead of everything else being monetized. I like that.
That is good.
That feels a bit better. Or I wouldn't say feels better, because I don't necessarily disagree with what both of you are saying. But that does sound like something that's a little bit more organic.
Yeah, but that sounds definitely something more Media Molecule than Sony. But you have to appreciate that they're owned by Sony, so ultimately they do what they tell them to do to a certain degree,
There's like a level of trust too. I'm sure that whatever they come up with will be the best decision. It's probably something that none of us are even thinking of.
Yeah.
And
I just think it's a cool idea to be able to export games and sell them on the PlayStation Store. I can't get my mind off of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like they're not going to go astray, because I think Media Molecule, while the marketing has, as we talked about last time, has not been the greatest marketing campaigns I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They know that they've created something great. And I think that whatever they decide, they will put enough thought into it to make sure it does right by the community. Because I would hate to see the community that they've created go dark side.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just had this thought of what if everyone got mad at Media Molecule, and I was just like, that would be so heartbreaking. Like, if you put it in the sense of how people get mad at just about almost every other developer, but like, I would definitely not want to see that happen to Media Molecule.
And I think that's why they have to be so careful with what they do.
Absolutely.
Because it impacts dramatically. And I think it would impact more so than any other developer, simply because the community is so intertwined with the developers. I don't know, it might just be me, but I just find that they're a lot more interactive with their community and their fan base. So whatever they do has a bigger impact than what someone else would do.
Yeah. So I think Wooshie, you've been just a tad bit quiet. You've been coming in like P. Diddy. You've just been like, yeah. So is there anything else you wanted to add to this specific topic before we move on? Because I did get a question for you, and I
just trust MM. That's my main thing. I trust them. That's my main takeaway. I'm not smart enough to come up with my own way that they would do it. I'm not business savvy. I don't know what is best for business. I just full trust in that they'll do the right thing and the smart thing.
Agreed.
So I think we're all in agreement on that. We would like to know where they're headed with it, if it like being that it undoubtedly is going to go in that direction at some point. So
absolutely.
But the question I got for you was from Fluffy Panda. He said, "Mr. Wooshie, Headmaster Woosh, what has been your most challenging build in Dreams?"
Ah, okay.
Oh, good question.
I mean, everything has its own challenge, right? But I mean, I guess it technically just be Milo because of how long I've been working on it, and it being a passion project. It's just so difficult because I'm overanalyzing every little bit of it, and it's like a love-hate relationship at this point. Just trying to like nail it, because not that everything else was easy, but like I said, most of the projects I've been a part of kind of fell apart. So in a way, they all had their own struggle. But
yeah. Well,
like,
so it's just how much it
it
meant to you and how much it meant to you to get it right.
exactly
Is what you're saying. Yeah.
It's because again, it's like I can't be more passionate than I am about this particular character and the world I want to create for him.
And that's the thing with it, isn't it? You always think to yourself, well, that could be better.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I look back and I'm like, oh, that could be like I saw on one of the Twitter posts you use the old Milo for like the brown one on as like a little thing, and I'm like, no, not that one. Like, he looks better now. Like, that's the outdated version. I've gotten better.
Oh boy. So, we are at about the 15-minute mark before we end. And Woosh, I want to open it back up to you. Is there anything that you would like to say to the dreamers out there? Do you have like an Oscar speech that you just like have in the back pocket? Is there anything you want to talk about?
Please tell me that you have one of those.
Okay, let me. I'm gonna go off the cuff here and just see what I can come up with.
Okay.
So okay, I think in general with dreams, the most important thing that we all have to keep in mind is it's been touched on a few times previously, but it's very close knit. I mean, there's a million of us, and yet we feel like family. There's this bond that we have, and I think part of that stems from all of us coming from an artistic background to some capacity. Like a lot of us kind of feel that, like, I don't know, like not outcast, that's kind of extreme, not to that point, but like there's a natural introversion that you find with a lot of dreamers, right? Because that's just, again, common in art communities. But seeing other dreamers, they're so passionate and they're breaking out of their shell, and there's something amazing to see about that. So above all else, I just want to encourage people that love dreams to talk about it and spread the word, because it not only will do better for the rest of us, but it'll help each of us individually, again, break out of our shells and prove how passionate we are about something, because by God, do we care about dreams and the stuff we make,
We care so hard.
And I love talking to other dreamers because of that passion. There's not a lot of times I can be happier than just hearing someone talk about what they love. That's why I said I love this podcast, because it's just you guys talking about something that you guys enjoy. And especially in these times right now, the struggles that we're all going through, we need this positivity. We need these lights, these passions that we can do. And, if we can spread this joy to other people, I feel like that's the most important thing that we can possibly do.
Preach, brother Woosh. Preach.
But yeah, I mean...
Hallelujah. So to back up that feeling, though, I'm gonna mute the other two just for a moment, okay, for everybody out there. So if you're wondering why you only hear me for a split second past when I mute them, we have something we want to unveil during this section of the podcast, and it's about next week's episode. So here, y'all take a look. Dost thou wish to dine betwixt the sheets of sullen reverie, absent coin from purse? Tune into the Made in Dreams podcast on August 28th for your chance to win a free copy of Dreams. Pshaw. Nice and quick. There we go, for those of you that see it. So, if you know someone, I came up with this the other night, and I was like, you know what? More people need dreams. So, if you know someone, if you're here and you want to get it for someone, I don't care who wins it, but there's going to be basically a raffle for during next week's stream where you will get a free code for Dreams on PS4. And spread the word, because whoever comes in, follows, hits that exclamation point raffle, it could be going home with you. So spread the love, more dreams out there for more people. Let's build the community.
Now, I hope I win.
Yeah, hey, you might. I've already told because sometimes my roommate comes in and talks, joins in on the podcast that I've done in the past. And I was like, dog, you can't enter the raffle. He was like, but I want Dreams. I'm like, you don't even have a PlayStation. And he was like, yeah, but like, I've seen you play it so much. He's like, I want it. And I'm like, dog, I'm not going to let you win it. Like, I will ban you from this. Like, this is for the community. This is for the people. Okay.
Look, but Dreams transcends any console. Okay. It's something bigger than that, man.
Yeah. I mean, would.
If we had more time, I would love to get
that
to that.
is the last thing we will talk about. We have 10 minutes. We have 10 minutes. So when James and I first met, Jammy James, the killer, when we first met, I was like, man, I really wish they kind of would like port Dreams to PC, because I would really like to see if I would be better at it on like a PC setup with like my art monitor and my stylus and the pressure and all this other stuff. I was like, I wonder if I'd be just better at it, because I naturally was better at doing things on Dreams than I was using Unity or Blender or any of that stuff. So I kind of had this urge that I wanted it to be on PC. I'm like, man, if they bring it to PC, I'm going to be all over it. And Jammy James, the Emperor, he came over. He was like, that defeats the purpose of Dreams, bro. And he did that. He put that bro on the end. Like, he broed me out. And I was like, dude, don't pop your collar on me, bro. Like, I'm just saying, bro. I just want to know if I'd be better on PC than with a DualShock. So
but you need to hear my side of the argument.
Okay. Here we go.
So the reason why Dreams is so amazing is because they have the ability to say, and all of this is done with just a DualShock. All of the processing is done on the console itself. That's what makes it so unique, in the fact that it's a game engine for a console that will then play the game that you created on the console. To take that away from Dreams sort of takes away the whole aspect of the reason why it was designed. To me, Dreams was designed to give the average gaming consumer the ability to create something without the need of a high-powered PC, or to learn hundreds of thousands of hours of how to use Unity or Unreal Engine 3 or 4, whatever the new one is. With Dreams, it's literally pick up and play. You already know how to use a DualShock because you're a PlayStation player. You're familiar with the layout of all the buttons. We're just going to tell you which button does what, and you can crack on with it. To move all that to PC, it will then, to me, it would take away what's so special about Dreams. It's like when I show people Dreams and I show them creations, I'm like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, it's great. And I'm like, yeah, but did you know that they created that completely on a PlayStation 4 only using a DualShock? And then that's what blows them on. They're like, what? Like, how? And then that's to me is the excitement of Dreams, is that it's all done on console. To take it away and put it on PC, it would just become no different than any other game engine. It's just a little more quirky.
Huh. See, I get it. I do. I do. I just have to believe. Now I might change. Like VR might be what I'm looking for, what I'm waiting on. But I just feel like as a person, it's kind of like that whole thing with when I was talking about my project having to be exported out of Dreams to be able to be put together because of the system roach error. Like if like I don't want to do audio in Dreams. I want to record it outside of Dreams and be able to upload it. So it's kind of like if I'm more familiar with using my art tablet in things like Blender and when using sculpting and stuff like that, then putting it on PC would mean that I'd have more capabilities of creating closer to what I want. I get your point. I get your point.
I agree with you. But I would rather see them move, say, that tablet thing that you use to create art. I'd rather them allow access to that on the PlayStation then instead, than move it to PC.
Yeah, I mean, but they're not going to do that. I mean, how long did we get? How long did we get? Like, or what is? Have they even done it yet? Where you can just use your own camera with the PlayStation? Because I know, and I'm sorry to bring up the Forbidden Beast, but the Xbox has it. So if you have no, you were so quiet. That's an Xbox and just the woes, just the sound of just pain. But all I'm saying is, like, PlayStation hasn't done that yet, right? Like where you can just take any camera and plug it in, because I tried with mine and it didn't work. Now I don't expect it to work with the Move and all that, but I'm saying, like, it didn't read it, and it did the same thing with one of the mics that I tried to plug into it, which I think was just weird. It could be just that my PlayStation's dying. You know what? Never mind. The point is, the point is I'm not. Believe me, guys. On another day. Because I am going to start streaming more outside of the podcast just to talk with Jammy James, the long lost king of the Forbidden Sword. And I am going to stream more with him outside of the podcast where we can talk about things outside of Dreams as well. But like, yeah, believe me, you'll understand where I stand with consoles and stuff during those episodes. I didn't mean to bring up, that the box that shall not be named.
Fluffy Panda's got it. The console that shall not be named.
Yes, there you go. Ha! He's on the same wavelength. So yeah, but yeah. Anyway, so I mean, they're not going to do that. They're just not, and so they're not going to make it so I can bring my nor do I want to carry my 27-inch art monitor downstairs to a PlayStation, but. Like that doesn't sound fun.
I'm going to leave you with this. When Media Molecule first came up with the idea of Dreams, and they showed the idea to other game developers, like AAA game developers, the response that they got was, "You're being too ambitious. What you're trying to create is virtually impossible." And look what they have managed to do. I'm sure they can manage to find a way of patching Dreams to be able to accept third-party accessories. I think the hard part's done. They've created the software. They've managed to make something that is able to create games. Adding support for external software, external hardware, I think wouldn't be that much of an issue.
Okay, look, I got you. Being that you're saying all this, I'm hearing you, right? I'm hearing you. I'm slipping in what you're slicking, okay? But all I need to know is how come I don't have a Power Glove yet? Like, why am I sitting here? Why am I sitting? No, I will not. I will not be denied. Goddammit, I will not be denied. How come I'm sitting here waving around sticks like Harry Potter instead of using my hands like a grown up to try to sculpt things? Okay, I just need to know. Like, Wooshie, do you believe? Do you agree with the testament of Vicious that you should have your mitts when you're trying to sculpt?
Now that's a loaded question.
Oh,
setting me up.
Well, you got 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Go.
All right. Look, I don't know about the Power Glove. There's some issues with it. We'll just leave it at that. But you know what? Yeah. Well, isn't that like part of the VR thing, right? Aren't they doing that? PSVR 2. They're gonna like
Yes,
put
they are.
gloves and something like that,
Mhm.
so you
The
can like
word is going
so
around.
people
Yeah.
can like feel their waifus in 3D finally. You know, it's like all these, you know, the potential is amazing. We'll just say that,
Yeah.
right? There's so many possibilities, many that I'd rather not know about, to be completely honest. You know, you do you, whatever you do on your own.
What do you mean? You don't want to add that female part to your like USB on your PC so that you never have to leave your room again?
Look,
Oh my
I mean,
God.
look, we all need a little thickness in our life. I ain't gonna lie, but like, there's a level, you know, there's a tolerance. We'll say.
Is there? No, I'm just playing.
Come on.
Yeah. but no, like, I mean, for real, I've always thought that the Uber controller was the Power Glove, and I've had a few other podcasts, and every year I have to bring up one episode that talks about the Power Glove. But I like, if you have something like Leap Motion, where you know you have the movement within 3D space and can use your hands, and it reads it 1-to-1. I don't understand how that's worse than a Move controller.
You never know. Dreams might come out with their own external hardware to sell. You know,
I
like the
hope
Dreams
so.
camera. How
I
about if
hope
they say,
so.
look, here's the Dreams camera. This will help you, like Leap Motion, like you just said, but a Dreams version. You don't know. You have no idea what they have up their sleeve. And I am a firm believer that Dreams is going to evolve dramatically within the next 2 years, and it will be unrecognizable to what it is now in that time. And we just have to wait. We just have to enjoy the ride and just wait for this stuff to come out.
I've just been waiting so long. I've been waiting
You can
so
wait a little
long.
longer. You can wait a little longer.
Can
the
I?
Power Glove?
I probably.
You've been waiting for the Power Glove?
Yes, bro. Because
Out
the
of all
thing,
things.
because this is the reason why. This is the reason why. Because it was known in the 80s what the what the optimal control setup was for VR.
But it didn't work.
Yeah, mind you, hey, I'll give you that. It didn't. But now it does. And no one will use it. Like, that's the problem. Like, back then, yeah, it was a gimmick. It was way before like they should have never built that one. But,
Yeah, that Virtual Boy was a mistake.
There's a lot of stuff
Virtual
they
Boy, I can't say what I was about to say on that one. That'll get me banned. But it's all I'm saying is that now the technology is there and it's being used for less ideas or lesser ideas. So I'm sorry, but if they do bring it out, and they give me the ability to have man, y'all are gonna see me pounding some clay in Dreams. I'm gonna be on that shit like Hulk. I'm just gonna be beating it up. It's gonna be perfect. So let me see. Some people have been trying to get my attention, I'm guessing, to call me out on the Power Glove.
I hope so. You deserve it.
Dude, how can you not? The Power Glove is Jesus, okay? Anyway, so at Mighty Vicious, you clearly have not seen Martin use the moves. No, I'm not saying that the moves aren't great. I'm not saying that people can't use them. I'm saying different.
Walk it back.
I'm not walking back. Shit.
All right.
But what I am saying is that certain things work better for certain people. And for me, a lot of what I do works better when I have a visual grasp on what it is I'm doing. Like the idea of having something in my hands, and especially as someone who works with his hands, it would be better for me. Like I just know for a fact it would be.
We have no idea what PSVR 2 is going to come out with.
Whereas using a dot through a magic wand, like that just doesn't, it automatically, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that for me, it just feels weird. It doesn't feel intuitive to me. But it is intuitive. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
So I'm saying it's the argument between the console controller and a mouse. And the real answer is it's whatever you're comfortable with.
I mean, the answer is a mouse, but okay. I mean,
see,
let's not beat around the bush.
And okay, first of all, you know what? We are a minute over. We don't have time. Okay, so it has been decided. It has been decided that Wooshie is coming back so that we can and remind us, because when he comes back, we're picking right back up on the Power Glove. We are going in, and then we're going to move back to the mouse and that comment he just made. But
I can just see the title right now. Made in Dreams podcast featuring Wooshie Power Glove episode.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. I'm all for it because I will die on this hill. I will die on this hill.
You will die. You're correct.
Exactly.
And you're gonna be alone up there. Ain't nobody going to get you from there.
I was born alone. I'm gonna die alone. I'm ready. I'm ready. So anyway, everybody, thank you for joining us for today's episode. I'm gonna go ahead and play that promo for the people that came later, just so you know. Next week's episode, you come through, follow into the raffle, and you could win a free Dreams game on PS4.
What's better than that?
Nothing really. Nothing. So
maybe next time we give a PlayStation with it.
Okay, I feel like I still got to go through these comments people are making because people are still talking to us. I feel like they don't want to let us go.
No.
Yeah, someone said, "Oh dang it!" Oh, Ledbetter said, "Oh dang, is it over?"
Right at the end.
Not to be a party pooper, but I doubt you'd create more with Power Gloves. Okay, first of all, Eddie, no one's talking. No one's talking to you. No one's talking.
Look, just hear the man out. He has a point.
And I'm telling you that just like with the mouse and the controller, it's about what you're more comfortable with.
And I'm just saying.
And I know for a fact I would be more comfortable using my hands. That's you and I know I'm talking to a bunch of Uber sculptors out here that is like, it works for me. So obviously you just need to be better. Like I know I'm in.
Why you got painted as villains?
I know the voice. That wasn't the villain's voice. That was just the me and my boys look rich as fuck voice. Like I'm in the valley. Oh damn! No. Okay, well then I did paint you as villainous. Let me correct it. Y'all are like,
double down.
I'm just saying, when it comes down to it, is I will argue forever that someone is better with the medium that they are more comfortable with. I've seen a dude that can't paint with a brush, but he can paint with his cell phone and paint better than almost anybody I've seen. He can use a toilet and paint better than, I don't know if y'all have seen this guy. Look him up online. He's good with a brush, but he can paint using anything. He used the side of his face. Just dipped his face in paint and started dabbing on canvas and is a freaking master.
Oh, you're right.
But that's what I'm saying.
But then you go back to the Power Glove, and it's like,
don't bring it back up.
Because when I say in the Power Glove, of course it would look. You know what? I'm breaking out the blueprints. When you come back, we will have my blueprints for how right I am on the screen. It's going to be my spotlight next time. And I'm going to go through all the... No, hey, don't...
I'll get my PowerPoint presentation. You'll see.
PowerPoint... Oh, yeah? Well, I'm going to get my TI-86, and I'm going to show you the mathematics of how correct I am. No, I'm just... Okay, guys, we need to go. But I love all of the...
This has been great.
Yeah, this has been amazing, and thank you to everybody in chat that's been keeping it going. It really does warm an old man's heart.
And thank you to Wooshie for joining us.
Yes, thank you to Wooshie for joining us, even though he talked trash about the Power Glove. But no, I'm just playing. I'll play it.
Apart from the Power Glove stuff, it was a lot of fun.
Yes, thank you for taking your time to join us on it has been amazing, and I can't wait to see what you do next, good sir. So with that, we call it adieu. Thank you everyone for coming, and remember, next week's show is going to be something special. So
next week is really special.
Well, actually, now I've been told to raid. So are there any Dreams creators that are on right now that I can raid to? You know what? I'm going to look it up, But while I'm looking it up, y'all are going to watch that ad again and then our closing. So, Wooshie, you have to drink water.
That doesn't count here.
It
All
follows
right.
They
you
didn't put the slap
everywhere.
one.
But yes, everybody, while we look for who we're going to raid, enjoy the outros. Dost thou wish to dine betwixt the sheets of sullen reverie, absent coin from purse? Tune into the Made in Dreams podcast on August 28th for your chance to win a free copy of Dreams. Pshaw.